What's up, everybody? This is ThePurplePanzy and Vulkenhyn once again, back with game 2 of Eva versus Atmaz. Last game we saw Atmaz using a ranged energy deck and Eva using a kind of poison, curse, decay deck. And Eva came out on top just from making sure Atmaz never really had units down on the board to use those bombards to full effectiveness. And Atmaz did a really good job of keeping the board clear most of the time, but he eventually just fell behind. Let's go ahead and see what decks they're going to be using this game. Eva is actually going to stay with the same deck. Why stop doing what's working? Atmaz is going to switch to Order. And normally you'd think, well, Order would not be good against Poison and Curse, right? But already we can see the big deal is Effigy of the Queen. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a big deterrent to the poison.
Yeah, most definitely. He's definitely going to be able to, especially with Effigy of the Queen being a 2-drop with 4 health, he's going to be able to not only protect his units from poisons and curses, but he is also poison curse interaction and then curse interaction with Baleful Witch, but he's also going to be able to use it as a blocker in kind of the mid to early game, whereas it'll transition more to this protection in the later game.
Mm-hmm. He's only got 2 though, so drawing those might be a little tricky when he needs them. If Eva can get rid of both of those before the deck is anywhere near cycled, Eva's going to be in a good spot because overall Order is very weak to curse interaction, mostly because Bloodline Taint can rip it apart pretty easily.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to point out that this is most definitely leaning towards more of the tempo side. Atmaz's deck is, and so not only will Effigy of the Queen kind of help out with the combating the removal, but if Atmaz can take control of the board in the early game, Tempo Order is very good at seizing control of the board and winning the game before more late game oriented decks have a chance to really come back at it. So we might just see Atmaz, if he gets a really good hand and gets really lucky, he might just run a train on Eva.
Mm-hmm.
Alternatively, if Eva gets to the late mid to super late game, I think Atmaz just is not even going to be able to stand a chance anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's jump right into the game. Let's see how this one is going to go. Good luck, have fun from everyone. Everybody's friendly here.
So nice.
Yeah. Eva's got an okay starting hand because he's got the Ilmire Trisman, but he's got some high units that he's not going to be able to do anything with.
Yeah,
Atmaz, on the other hand, has Righteous Partisans, which are great 3-drops to get out early.
Yeah, Righteous Partisan went from being with the change, went from being a useless card to a card that's used in almost every single Order deck nowadays. It's basically just a sister of the Fox. But actually has competitive stats. So he's gonna drop a Partisan, I expect, yeah. He's gonna get that card draw off. And I would suspect that he might drop a Relorius next turn, otherwise he'll probably drop the other Partisan. Yep. So right now he's establishing board presence. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. But it's important to highlight that because he's drawing a card every time he summons a Righteous Partisan, he's establishing board presence without really sacrificing much of anything. So he still has a massive hand compared to.
Goes to the Kabonk. Doesn't want the Infectious Blight taking over, which is why Eva ran. Eva ran so that he wanted to take off the Infectious Blight. Kind kind of same mind games we had last time. Atmaz in the last game ended up using 2 sparks to remove, which was a mistake on his part because he forgot about the interaction. I don't think he was expecting to use 2 sparks to do it.
Yeah, and that's a fairly recent change, so I think that's understandable. So he pothers the Oblivion Seeker out just so that he can get to that 1 countdown Oblivion Seeker, so that Eva won't have a really good response next turn to.
Yeah, the not having countdown reduction, you can very much predict where it's gonna go. The only countdown reduction you really have is Harvester, which is getting down there. It's down to 3, and I don't see any way for him to remove it anytime soon.
Yeah, if that Harvester goes off, it's really going to be bad business. But he might just want to ignore it and try and stay out of the way of it and let it go off, and then try to make an offensive afterwards.
Early Halls of Umlasa. I mean, we're at round 8, and he's already got that out, which is going to set him up for plenty of turns. And he's got plenty of scrolls in hand too.
Yeah, and
his ramping has just been fantastic. Mostly because those Oblivion Seekers getting out early let you just get breathing room.
And one important thing is that Rulorius is a massive power piece in many order decks nowadays, especially Tempo. But Eva has that Cursed Presence Baleful Witch combo in hand, which means that the first Rulorius that Atmaz summons, unless he uses it on something else, Eva will be able to just instantly remove it.
Mm-hmm.
Goes for the Oblivion Seeker here. He's just protecting his idols, keeping up his card draw, just doing the general late game.
And he's going to move the Harvester up so that he actually is going to hit something when it goes off, which should be soon if Atmaz can't do anything. He's got another Decimation, not going to do anything though. Yeah, he's already started committing to the bottom as well, trying to divide up where Eva's going to have to attack.
Yeah, I think at this point Atmaz might actually want to. He had a damning curse, so it wouldn't have mattered much. But I think at that point, imagining that he wouldn't have a damning curse, you might want to just kind of move into the mid and try and make a big offensive next turn. But he got that Harvester to trigger. So
I think the biggest part of that was that he was able to put down a Harvester before that, and now he's got a 3 countdown Harvester right back. So it starts to look really doomy when you get 2 Harvesters out, and he's got another one in hand.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why he didn't opt for the double Blessing Haste to try and take out that one Harvester. Because he could have double Blessing Haste his Rulorius, and the Rulorius would have taken out the 2 health Harvester. But even then, it would have probably ended up triggering the other one and kind of made it all for naught.
Authors his own unit here to try to get up to the Harvester. He doesn't have any attack to, or he could Blessing of Haste here. He doesn't do it. He could have Blessing of Haste. You'd think why Blessing of Haste on 1 attack creature, but he's got to get rid of those Harvesters. But he got it anyways with the other Skirmisher. But that only got rid of 1 Harvester. He's still got a 3 countdown and 2 countdown Harvester on the board.
Yeah, I think he's got kind of the right idea here with trying to take out the.
Some really good plays here.
Yeah.
He needed to get rid of that Wish Sharder, and he needed to get rid of the Harvester, and now the other Harvester on top is going to go off, but nothing's in front of it. It's going to hit. It's going to take out an Idol, but that's all it's going to do.
Yeah, but the really big problem here is that, that might have been a really good play, but now Atmaz has almost no cards in hand, and Eva has a ton of cards and a ton of resources, and just kind of everything at his disposal. It's in kind of an odd way. It's a repeat of the last game where it seemed like there was some competition, but as the game went on and as Eva just harvested more resources off of Halls of Umlasa and the card draw from Oblivion Seeker, he's just out competing Atmaz.
And the biggest problem too is that, as we talked about earlier, Atmaz has more of an aggressive tempo order deck, and Eva has such a strong late game.
Yep.
Halls of Umlasa is going to maintain for a long time. He finally gets down the effigy of the Queen.
Yeah, and
waiting for it to come down.
As you predicted, he didn't draw it, and that was a really bad sticking point for him. That it's, he really needed that to combat a lot of Eva's removal. But even then, a lot of Eva's removal was that he drew three harvesters just kind of in a row.
Atmaz having the same sentiment. If only that was at the top of the deck. You gotta wonder if maybe he should have ran 3 of them just to up the chances a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely.
Although these decks are registered before the tournament starts, so definitely in a ESL type format, you would switch your deck real quick and you would put in all 3 because you know you're going against Poison Decay. It's very possible that he didn't think Effigy was going to be that important when he was making these decks before the tournament started. So
I think it's got to be something you're going to expect, though, because Eva ran the same deck last time to great success, and so you would expect that he's not really going to change because why fix something that isn't broken? Atmaz has done a pretty good job of taking back the board despite being poisoned and cursed and all sorts of nasty things.
He's got to load up on so much here, or he's loaded up on the curses and poisons now.
Oh, man.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and just as I say that,
isn't even gonna do enough work here. Because, again, it's that scroll advantage. He had so many scrolls in his hand.
Yeah, just as I say that he's kind of coming back, it's just he's right back to square one because of those really potent curse and curse poison combos.
And Halls of Umlasa is going to come out again soon. And he's going to keep getting the good scrolls.
There's no reason not to bring it out. It's an excellent card in almost every single situation.
Oh, that Shambler goes the wrong way, but, it hits an idol, so...
Yeah. And it's not, he had languided that, Wing Shield, so it's not really a huge deal.
Atmaz is really struggling to get scrolls here.
Yeah, being honest, it looks real bad for Atmaz once again.
He's got a Vanguard down with nothing to go with it. And he's going to put down the Partisan. I replay mod throws me off a little bit with the delay, so I was a little confused there. Thought he sacked it for a moment.
Yeah.
He's just got to put down every unit he can find. But in this stage of the game, Aging Knights are not going to be around for very long.
Yeah, and unless he draws some sort of flip or pauper, he's not really going to be able to get to that.
And there's the third Baleful Witch. Says he made a mistake. I'm not sure exactly what the mistake was. It's hard to really see big mistakes when he's still killing units. Maybe he didn't kill enough units that turn.
Yeah, couldn't kill everything.
I move too fast and don't think well. Well, that is all of us, Eva.
Yeah, I share in that sentiment.
Down. It's also the replay mod. Going at the speed of light here. Let's see if Oh, he's gonna control the Shambler RNG, so he's either... Nope, he wants the Partisan. Because that attacks next turn, he's gonna get Winged Soldier there. I mean, he's not drawing many units again.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's getting to the point where I'm wondering if Atmaz has anything in his deck to really be an answer to what Eva's putting out.
Go for the decimation win, right? Just needs to cycle at least 10 more times. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Necro. I totally forgot that this deck was had that up its sleeve. He did not Necro in the last game, if I remember correctly.
No, he didn't.
I'm not sure if Atmaz was even aware that this was in this deck. I'm not sure if there's anything he could have done to stop it, though. Order has no, you know, Necrogun is always a let's go all the way here, because against growth, you know, Quake next turn pretty much handles that. Energy's able to handle those 2 health units with Thunder Surge pretty well, but Order has no answer for these wimpy guys. I mean, skirmishers, yeah, but there's no skirmishers on the board. So,
yeah, and that's, you know, that's really their ultimate answer is to try and block up those husks with armor units and then respond with skirmishers. But Atmaz does not have, you know, the kind of cards that you'd have. In...
He's gonna sift the Necrogun to, or no, yep, he's gonna take the Necrogun, which I
believe that spells the end for the game. Yep.
Yep. That double Necro. Halls of Umlasa doing a lot of work because he had a lot of breathing room. He had the scroll advantage. He had the resource advantage. He's able to take his time and bring out power moves like that. That you know, normally you don't see Halls of Umlasa played just because it's hard to get it out. It's like Imperial Resource. You kind of need a turn, an extra turn, in order to do it.
Yeah, most definitely.
And Atmaz, I think what really hurt Atmaz that game is definitely the draw. He did not get Effigy out early, and by the end, near the end of the game, he started to get units down, and he got Effigy down, but it was already to late game, and he doesn't have the late game to really do much.
Yeah, he really needed to be able to put a high amount of pressure on Eva in the early game, and he did not have the draws to do that, and he didn't have the effigies to keep his units, his early game units, on the field. Mm-hmm. So he just kind of lost out on all corners, and Eva ramped above him and got to late game and just dominated in the way that only late game Order and late game Decay really seem to.
Yep, so that's going to give Eva 2 wins, and that actually will take the series. Eva just staying with Decay, just sticking with it. And I think Atmaz was just hard countered in this series. The energy deck he was playing was really susceptible to Cursed Poison. And the second match he was running Order, which is extremely susceptible to Cursed Poison, and couldn't get out Effigies, which is the only defense he has. So Eva really built a really excellent deck. A lot of people not really running too much Decay. A lot of people thought Decay was somewhat on the weaker side coming out of Waypoints. But Eva's showing us that if you don't have the right deck to go against it, Poison, Curse, Decay is extremely powerful and really hard to go against. You've got to double spark your own Canonetta if you want to. But thanks for watching, guys. We will be back with more King of Beta in the future. We got some more series coming up. But thanks for watching.